Two walks of life, man, you gon' pick and choose. I seen dudes fiend just to get in the loop. Push to they point, they like Tupac and Juice. They got sick of the running and picked up the deuce. Loco gon' make niggas shaking they boots. Looking like Ricky when they in pursuit. I got a dream that I'm trying to pursue. If it fail, I'm like Biggie, just give me the loot. Megatron, bitch, I'm a villain. Pressure on to make a killing. Leprechaun, green to the ceiling. Put 6 dots up on your head, now you krillin'. Double cross me from the gang, you forbidden. Never a way that you gon' be forgiven. Weapons draw, now blood is spilling. This happens every damn day, the earth spinning. Talk to my demons, they got me believing that I'ma go crazy like I'm Majin Buu. I'ma just go right through anyone front of my money and everything I'm trying to do. But they can't stop me, these niggas don't like me. These niggas is whack and I flow like the news. Some of them, they just be blind to the fact cause they mans got some up and they don't have a clue. I'ma just leave all these little niggas hurt. All you gotta do is just mention me first. Niggas be mad cause they making this dirt. Envy me cause I put all these beats in a hearse. They like the way I be going berserk. Try be like me but ain't putting in work. Talking on Twitter, I'm thinking they birds. Mention me and I bet you my niggas gon' lurk. Niggas, they knew I was different since birth. You not 100, don't like to converse. Niggas be bitches, should put on the skirt. We send you to the doc, we send you to the nurse. Creeping good luck cause I stay on alert. Finish a nigga and one is for sure. Get to the line and I'm finna convert. You not eating, you niggas save room for dessert. Hate is contagious, but I got the antidote. Popping they top like I opened a can of coke. If niggas ever forget and they think I'm in last, I'll drop 50 just like I'm Leangelo. I make your bitch come right out of her pantyhose. Niggas run up and these niggas on panic mode. Ripping these beats, all my words highly flammable. 007, I'm a fucking animal.
Alright, what is up, YouTube gaming family? It's K-Rod here once again. I'm back at it with another good live for you guys today. Yeah, I just wanted to make this little post-fight live for y'all for Ryan Garcia versus Jaiver Fortuna. Yeah, man, that was a good fight. Very, very, very good performance by Ryan Garcia. Even though that I still have, like my negative thoughts about him, but I don't really have too much to really say about the performance. I kind of saw this fight result coming, but I wasn't really thinking Ryan Garcia was going to come into this fight, trying to have any struggles with Jaiver Fortuna. Even though Fortuna, he didn't really have that much time to really prepare, but then again, he did what he had to do. But, nah, man, congratulations to Ryan Garcia. You actually beat a former world champion, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he was a 2-division world champion for Mr. Jaiver Fortuna. But yeah, salute to you, Omega. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. Yeah, either way, man, I actually had a lot of fun watching this fight. I actually thought Ryan, he made a lot better improvements in this fight, and I think the fact of the matter is that Jaiver Fortuna, he's not a walkover. He definitely knows what he's doing in the ring, but I think this fight really made Ryan Garcia turn into an absolutely different fighter, and I think it just pretty much proves that, when you're in there with the best opposition and in training, I would say, like a guy like Joe Goosen, I think that's where we start to see the rise of fighters like Ryan Garcia, where he comes out of his shell and he actually makes bigger improvements, where he could become a much bigger threat in the future. And the fact of the matter is that Ryan, he is actually getting better. No matter how many people want to say that he isn't good, he's going to get wiped out. And even though that this fight was at 140, it pretty much still showed that Ryan Garcia, he's a problem, for that weight class. Like, in terms of his power, still carrying in that division. And knowing that Jaiver Fortuna, he's not a career junior welterweight, so granted, he's not really built, to actually really, be super duper persistent and that level of damage for that division. I just think based off of what we're seeing from Ryan Garcia's, performance. He's actually turning into a much better fighter every time he gets in there with Joe Goosen for his training. And even though, if I'm not mistaken, this is his second fight being trained by Joe Goosen, I would say Ryan Garcia, he's turning into a very, very good fighter. Granted, there are still plenty of things that he needs to work on, but I think that will come within due time. And I think Ryan Garcia, he's going to be shocking a lot of us, critics, hopefully sometime in the future, where he could very well upset some of our favorite fighters. Who knows? I'm not hyping up Ryan Garcia. I still think Ryan Garcia, he needs to prove something to me. And I like that. Because it's like, dude, you actually be a former world champion, if I'm not mistaken. I think Fortuna is a 2-division world champion. But either way, Fortuna, he's a good-ass fighter. He definitely knows how to put himself in proper position to actually win. So, he's only been stopped, 2 times now. His only, how should I say, his only biggest losses actually came from all world champions, minus Ryan Garcia. And I think the biggest takeaway from it is that Fortuna, he's actually a good he's a good sturdy opponent. He doesn't really get stopped. Javier Fortuna, he actually either ends up stopping you, or you either end up stopping him, or just cruising him to a decision. But I think based off of what I'm seeing out of the progression of Javier Fortuna, he's not the same Javier Fortuna that we once knew. So I think either way, Javier Fortuna, he has a lot of growing up to do. And I think that's really the biggest problem with Javier Fortuna. He's not a career 140 pounder. He's obviously a natural 130 or 135 pounder, even though that, granted, his team said, quote unquote, he couldn't make the weight for 135. So maybe Fortuna, this is basically his dead end, weight class, which not a lot of fighters really end up doing good at bigger weights when they've always been starting out at smaller weight classes. But I can definitely say that Javier Fortuna, he's not made for 140. His punching power is just not there. He's obviously shown that he really can't do anything well up against a bigger fighter than him, like Ryan Garcia. If I'm not mistaken, Ryan Garcia rehydrated to 160, if I'm not mistaken. But still, it's that's a huge mega progression. And Javier Fortuna, he's doing such a good job with keeping himself on par with his with his rehydration. But just by looking at the fight itself, Javier Fortuna was not built for 140 from the start of that fight with Ryan Garcia. So either way, Ryan Garcia, he pretty much had a great size advantage over Javier Fortuna. I think Javier Fortuna pretty much showed that he is not really built for a 140, and I think his career could very well end at 140. I don't know where Javier Fortuna goes from here. I personally don't want him back in the sport, because I think Javier Fortuna, he's not severely damaged from the Ryan Garcia loss, but it's I think sooner than later you're going to have to tell him, hey, you really have to take a break from boxing, and if anything, I think it's time for you to hang it up. Just to be honest with him, because even though that's very hard to say to a guy that's a big time veteran, I mean, I personally just wouldn't want to see Javier Fortuna get damaged. And I used to personally like Javier Fortuna back when I was super duper young, especially back in middle school leading up to high school. But I just think Javier Fortuna, He's always been that type of guy where he's always just never really been on, I guess, like the good side of, being, successful. So I don't know. I think Javier Fortuna. I think it's best for him to just, get away from the sport and find something different, because he can very well, continue on other business ventures out there. But knowing that he is from the Dominican Republic, I'm pretty sure life is not good for him out there, because the Dominican's economy is just really not that good for people that are trying to, like, get out from that high level, I guess, poverty, or however people do survive out there. But still, I don't blame him if he only knows boxing, and he's going to continue to box until he can't physically box no more. And I just find that to be very sad, because I'm a huge advocate for having, like a fight league, in the first place, where there needs to have, like, there needs to be like a financial safety net for athletes in boxing to have a good, proper retirement package, when they're ready to get out of the sport. And I just find it sad that for people like Fortuna, like, if boxing is like the only thing he knows, and you have a fighter that's been born to the sport, it's like you can't blame him for just wanting to say, look, man, I still want to fight, and this is like my only source of income. But it's like, if you can't teach a man how to properly, like, facilitate himself as a individual, it's like you really can't do anything. It's just like, to me personally, I just think that the sport of boxing, it needs to be marketized more, like the NBA, where there's a proper security and financial safety protection for all the fighters. Because it's just sad that Javier Fortuna, he's just been basically on the rough road of coming, from like a really good, tough war with Jojo Diaz. But ever since then, it was just pretty much like a fight that just shouldn't have been, in Jojo Diaz's favor. Javier Fortuna, he should have won that fight, He should have been, successful that night. But sadly, things just never went his way. But I think sooner than later, there has to come to a time where Fortuna, he needs to look at himself in the mirror, and he needs to understand that boxing is not forever. And I mean, it's sad, because it's like Fortuna, like he used to be that guy. He used to be really, really good. But it's like, ever since then, it like to me at least, it just felt like he just basically fell off super duper quick. But I don't know. I think eventually Fortuna, he's gonna have to basically hang it up. And I think Javier is gonna have to find something different. But either way, I hope Javier Fortuna can move forward with something bigger and stronger for the sport. But if he does end up retiring soon, I won't be surprised. I just think Fortuna, he's just not really the same guy no more. That's just my honest opinion. I just think that he really needs to just start considering getting out or retiring. But yeah, as far as Ryan Garcia's next steps, I say he needs to start looking towards trying to make a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. I think him and Tank is the best next fight that needs to be made, or the best fight that needs to be made next. I think Gervonta would destroy Ryan Garcia. And as much as everybody wants to say, nah man, Ryan Garcia, he'll stop Tank Davis, he'll do this, he'll do that. No. After this fight, I mean, Ryan made, tremendous improvements, but now that I'm looking at the picture a lot more, I just think based off of what I'm seeing, I just think Ryan Garcia, he has a lot more holes in his game that he needs to fix, and I think based off of what I'm seeing here, just based off of like what he's been doing, um, he is definitely progressing to get better to be a challenge for Gervonta Davis, but I think eventually in due time Gervonta, he's just gonna be one step like he's always gonna be one step ahead of Ryan Garcia. So I don't know how I could how I can properly envision that inside my head, but just based off of what everybody tries to hype up this fight to be, I think Gervonta will basically make this fight look like I guess it'll be more like the Rolly fight, but it's just going to be a lot more exciting because Ryan, he's not going to back away from actually trying to throw a good punch on Gervonta Tank Davis. So I personally think that's what will happen between him and Tank. But I think Gervonta, he has a great ceiling to do the same thing that he did with Rolly, but that fight will just end up being more like a massive domination. But I don't know, I could very well be wrong. I think based off of how the fight will go down, it'll just be like one of those fights where a lot of people will think like, oh well, Gervonta, he's gonna get stopped with that crazy demonic left hook that Ryan Garcia likes to throw, but I don't really see that. I personally think that the fight itself won't really be as competitive, and I think that's where the fight itself will be more of a, I don't know. I think Ryan Garcia, he's going to just end up failing in that fight a lot more. But I don't know. I think Tank, he's going to come into that fight like it's his breakout fight, and I think that fight alone is going to basically give a lot more questions that need to be answered for that fight of that magnitude. But I don't know. I could very well be wrong. I personally think Gervonta would just absolutely slaughter Ryan Garcia, but I think the fight itself is very interesting. It's definitely a tough style matchup. Just based off of how I'm seeing Ryan's development, if Ryan had really really good feet and he had great boxing ring IQ and he had everything in the package to dominate, a guy like Gervonta Davis, then I would say yes. Gervonta Davis, he could very well be in trouble, but based off of what the limited ability that Gervonta Davis has, or based off of what the limited ability that Ryan Garcia has, it just makes me think that Ryan Garcia, he'll very well make a lot of mistakes in a Tank fight, and he's not going to be successful in dominating that type of performance against a guy like Gervonta Davis. So I don't know. I could very well be wrong. I think that the fight itself is very interesting, but I think Ryan, he should just go ahead and just keep building up his resume. If Gervonta Davis is not next up in line, I wouldn't mind to see a fight between him and Jojo Diaz. I think Jojo Diaz is a perfect step up builder test for Ryan Garcia. I think Jojo Diaz, or maybe a fight with Jorge Linares, or maybe Zaur Abdullayev, because Zaur Abdullayev, he knocked out Jorge, in which that was a very, very good knockout victory. But still, he should very well go after him. I think that's a very, very good fight. So, I don't know. That's just something that I think that should be, experimented. But, I don't know. I could very well see Ryan Garcia fighting somebody else other than Tank. I think him and Tank, will be that fight to be great, but I just think based off of the ability of Gervonta's choosing of opponents. I'm not too sure if Floyd Mayweather and Leonard are going to make that fight next. But then again, if they do, then that fight's going to be super duper lit. I think Golden Boy, they really need to get their heads out of their asses and just quit the promotional politics and just make the damn fight, man. It's like they're good at making fights with top rank, or actually, yeah, Golden Boy has a good relationship with making fights with either Top Rank or DAZN. To which DAZN, they're obviously partnered with them. But for some weird reason, they be acting so weird with not trying to make big fights with the PBC, and I just find that really, really stupid. So I think Oscar, he really needs to stop being dumb, and he needs to just start making these big fights, because if Golden Boy wants to stay in business, they should very well, get that fight made. I don't know, man. I think Ryan Garcia, he definitely needs a bit more work before getting in there with Tank. But if he wants Tank next, then go for it. Ryan, he's 23 years old. He's really, really good. He definitely knows what he's doing. And I think, based off of the progression that I'm seeing, I think Joe Goosen is doing a tremendous job building him. And I think eventually we're just going to see Ryan Garcia rise up to the occasion. And then he'll very well be that man to dominate 135. But I'm not going to sit here and say, he beats everybody. Let's not get too big on ourselves trying to think Ryan Garcia has a shot. I'm just saying, based off of what I'm seeing from the progression, I think Ryan Garcia has a good shot of making noise at 140. To which I think based off of what he just said in the post fight, I just found it weird that he never made any mention to Devin Haney, knowing that Devin Haney, he was at the fight. He was like, bruh, if the opportunity with George Kambosos can be taken out of fruition, he could very well fight Ryan Garcia. And I think him and Ryan Garcia is a good fight to make. But obviously, to us real big hardcore boxing fans or students of the game, we obviously want to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Devin Haney. If Devin Haney is quote unquote busy with a fight with George Kambosos, or if he can very well have a George Kambosos step aside, or just take let the rest of his money and just basically leave Devin Haney alone, then I think him and Tank should very well be next. I just think based off of what I'm seeing here, there's just so much more progression. And I think based off of how things can go down, it just makes better sense for the fight to just be made. But I don't know, man. I think either way, dude, what the fuck is this bitch doing, man? What are you doing? Oh my god, dude, she just blew that shit. Wow. Holy shit. Dude, do you guys see this? Yo, am I watching retards, literal retards playing this game? She never got a single fucking kill. Yo, you Lux mains are garbage in real life, and Neela mains too. This new champion Neela, dude, she is not that good, man. Alright, but back to the show. Yeah, either way, I think Ryan Garcia's campaign to 140, that's going to be a very, very dangerous road to go for. But I think if he's really in it for just the big money fights and not going for a world title, well, actually no, I think Ryan Garcia, he's very well going to get up to a world title. But I think based off of the progression of what I'm seeing out of him, I just don't really see him, being that guy to actually take over, I guess, the 140-pound division. I think Ryan, he has a good shot per se. Dude, like, what is this Lux doing, man? Dude, she's being so mentally retarded. Thank you. Help me out. Help me the F out. But yeah, I think Ryan's like next steps is that he's gonna try to get into that Tank fight. I think him and Tank makes like the most sense right now. But if he can go for a fight with I don't know. Like I really don't know what Gervonta is going to be doing next, but if he fights Tank next, and let's just say if he were to upset Tank, then I think what Ryan is very well going to do, he's probably just going to continue going after all the big sharks at 140, which I don't see him, winning that many good fights in the division. But then again, anything could happen in boxing. I think it could very well be Ryan Garcia's favor in certain fights where he could very well, beat former world title challengers or former world champions at 140 pounds. It's just only like a matter of time of like where we could see the progression lie in. But I don't know. I think Ryan, he's good. He just needs to work on certain things in his game, and I think eventually he'll be there. It's just that he just needs to start building off of it. And I think Joe Goosen, he's doing a great job with the progression of Ryan Garcia. And I think based off of how much better he's getting, I think Ryan Garcia, he's going to start getting up to that level soon. But I don't know. I think Ryan, he has a great ceiling, and I think eventually, he'll start doing bigger and bigger and better things. But yeah, man. I think that's pretty much it, man. I don't really have that much else to really say. Next weekend, what else is going on next weekend? I think Top Rank with Joette Gonzalez and Isaac Dogbe is coming up, and then obviously Danny Garcia, he's next in line. So can't wait for that. I think that's gonna be a good ass fight. I think that'll be fun to watch, and yeah, man, I can't wait. Dude, this Nasus is just being a dumbass. Wow. But yeah, man, I don't really have that much else to really say. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Salute to the LDBC, and salute to everybody that came through. So I'll see you guys in the next live stream. And yeah, man, I appreciate it. So yeah. I'll see you guys later. I think tomorrow I'll be having my interviews tomorrow, so I'll see you guys there. All right. See you guys.